Yes, I recently interviewed one of her books on linguistic diversity. So she has a very broad span of talent, really. So I'll pass on to Mr. Ahmed. I was thinking of asking Mr. Devesh to say what is here. Thank you, sir.
Is it ready? This way. One.
Good afternoon. I'm not sure the timing is very right for the session after a meal of the kind that we people are in India are used to. Heavy, oily food and well-packed. Ideally, I think Sahitya Akademi could also give us some tea before we could start, but I don't know if that is permissible. Anyway, so I thank Anvita for putting me in the chair. I don't know why she's doing it. I don't think I'm qualified enough in the context of my own work. Partly I have done some work on languages and all that, but I'm certainly not a linguist, and nor am I will only tell you that I cannot be seen as an expert, so don't expect any erudite remarks from me or anything. However, I'm depending on the wonderful three people who are going to be speaking and making a presentation. The continuation is into the session which is actually called Issues and Perspectives on Unwritten Languages. Needless to say that, in the morning, I see many different faces now, and in the morning there were these very good papers on where there was a discussion on what are the issues that are involved, what are the perspectives that we need to have. And I really believe that we need to have much longer seminars and deliberations in this area, because over a day it's going to be very difficult to really even cover or touch the perspectives and issues. And for instance, this wonderful paper that Professor Vinamali also presented on Tulu, I think the success lies in the fact that we are all curious to know more and more about it, and how the neglect of a very powerful language like Tulu, obviously it's far more powerful, and we all know that there is a hierarchy of languages and politics of languages that function. They're not just now, it's not just in the contemporary world, it's been happening all through the centuries. There is a hierarchy, and in that hierarchy some languages are pushed into the very favorite word of academics is margins. Pushed into the margins, but it's very center stage. Who does this marginalization and why? And this one is that, and the other has to do directly with the subject, which is unwritten languages of India. So we did debate this issue. This is for the benefit of those who were not there in the morning. We did talk about what kind of privatization or primacy rather is given to the written. And then we are lamenting over the fact that the written is also not given enough importance, that is the book. But the fact of the matter is that a country like ours, or the subcontinent that we are situated in, our richness and prosperity lies in the fact, cultural prosperity is what I'm talking about, lies in the fact that we have found our people, and we found expression in so many languages, and which exist in the oral domain even today. But I don't know why we keep our eyes closed, we keep our academic institutions closed to that reality in a very big way. We are not recognizing that reality. And the more we begin to realize, the greater the pride we will have in our own cultures. I don't even want to say culture, it is in plural that I would say. And somebody also talked about knowledge systems that lie, a whole knowledge system that lies locked in each language, And by neglecting that, by neglecting a language, we don't only neglect the language, we are also neglecting a whole culture. culture, we are neglecting the system that is encapsulated, and then finally gets to be endangered. The language gets to be endangered because there isn't adequate stress on that. We have 3 speakers now, and how much time do we have we have 3 papers. We have to finish by 4 o'clock. 4 papers. No, but including that there are 3. Yeah, so we have 3 papers, and I would suggest that we stick to 15 to 20 minutes maximum, so that we have some time for discussion as well. And we will start with Dr. Bhaktivatsala Bharati, who is the director in charge at Pondicherry Institute of Linguistics and Culture. I'm glad that we are together, linguistics and culture. So we have a paper on unearthing Aboriginal pan-Indianism, an approach to unwritten literature in the Tamil linguistic region. So in some ways, Professor Bilmile, we are going to go into the Dravidian side again after you. Go ahead.
Now I will try to give my question at one time. Tribal and indigenous age-old process. The government has identified nearly 72 tribes as primitive tribal groups, 80. Among them, in Tamil Nadu, they have 6 primitive tribal groups. Among these 6, my paper concentrates on some of the primitive tribal groups inhabiting the hills. I would like to focus in this chapter on tribal nationalism, tribal atheism, the religious aspects of Calvinism as one part of it. The second one is the ethic aspect of Calvinism. So let me briefly tell about tribal rationalism among the primitive tribal groups inhabiting in the India. The Todas of Linguists have been influenced by Buddhism, and they worship Shiva at Nanjangud temple in Mysore, and Vishnu at Varayude near Coimbatore city, and other nearby shrines where they worship, present votive offerings, and pray for the well-being. Way back in 1870s, Greeks, that in 1873, removed their Todas as public began to imitate the religious practices of their native neighbors. They started smearing Shiva's spots, that is 3 lines, on their foreheads and removing hair on the head. Nowadays, the Toda campaign includes Hindu girls. Anthony Walker, he has done extensively on Toda, notes as follows. From the market come pictorial representations of Hindu gods and goddesses, Shiva and his consort Parvati, his sons Ganesha and Subramanya, Vishnu and his consort Lakshmi and his several incarnations, especially Krishna and Rama. These images occupy a place of honor in many Toda houses, and I have seen a complete god show in one Toda house. That is what Anthony Walker says. From time immemorial, the Toda worship coupled with the Toda form of Vishnu at Karavedi village near Metropolitan at the foothills of Nilgiri. The Kotas, yet another primitive tribal group inhabiting in Nilgiri. The Kotas of Nilgiri, who are the only tribe in India doing all the Panchakamala arts. That is, they are excellent artisans doing blacksmithy, goldsmithy, silversmithy, carpentry, tannery, road making, pottery, washing, and music and to their fire. So, this is the only tribe in India. They do all kinds of Panchakamala arts. They worship Shiva and his consort under the names of Kamatraya and Kalake at the Kotagiri region. According to their legend, Kamatraya wiped up 3 drops of perspiration from his forehead and found These gods in ancient Israel, Roda, Kotas, and Kurumbas are related. During the 12th day of the annual festival of Agadaya, the Todas, Baladas, Kurumbas, Hirulas, and Hindus come to Kota village on the 9th day for witnessing the performance of the elaborate mass. This annual intercultural continuum strongly binds all these five communities. The Badaga and the Hirula interrelationship in Nilgiri culture is a unique one. The Nilgiri, the Rangasamy peak, is one of the highest mountains that lasts to 1,788 meters, which is crowned by Vaishnava style. Two mythologic circles represent Lord Ranga and his concept. Ranga means Vishnu. The hereditary priest, that is Pujari, of this time is Hirula. So it is very interesting that Hirula is the priest. However, the Lingayat Badagas, who are following the Lingayatism, offer an honor to Krishna by offering plantains, milk, progress through the Hirula priest. The Rangasamy peak has been a place of Punesala, place of virtue for pilgrims from the plains. The Krishna drama performance of Hirulas also attract the Badagas. Such tribal Hinduism gradually gained transcending influence in the Nilgiris over the centuries. The Hirulas are yet another outer tribe in the Nilgiris. However, their annual festival cycle embraces a classic example for the little tradition and great tradition continuum. Like the process of continuum between little and great traditions. At the foothills of the Nilgiris, Karamadai, there is a popular Vishnu temple. There is preceding deity Ranganatha visits the nearby abode of the second wife, Vettatamman. Vetta means hill, Amman means goddess. During his annual festival. On knowing Vishnu's visit to Vettatamman, that is Hirula as well, the preceding wife at the Karamadai abode stops Ranganatha at the threshold of this temple and feeds him, and later allows him inside the temple. Kamil Sullivan, a Czech scholar who has done extensively on linguistic and cultural studies on these tribes, provides a different account that describes how the Vishnu and Rangasamy peak in the Nilgiri and the Karamadai abode are brothers. Yamano and Vandergam have accounted that Kotas also come down from the Nilgiris during the annual festival at Karamadai for worshipping Ranganatha. Different versions of Ranganatha maintain that these sites of Lord Vishnu are parts of folk and classical continuum. Thus, Lord Vishnu not only finds a place both in the little and great traditions, but continues to interact between them in the form of tribe folk continuum, or little tradition and great tradition continuum. The Muduvan Menfolk, yet another tribe in the Western Ghats, the Muduvan Menfolk, inhabiting Western Ghats, observe 30-day fasting for the annual festival of Adkonda Perumal, that is the local name, that is Lord Vishnu. While the Kondaredis of Western Tamil Nadu worship Lord Vishnu as Gada Perumal, that is Vishnu the hunter. As the Kondaredis were once hunter and gatherers, they attributed their features of their god as well. Both these tribal avatars of Lord Vishnu reflect its proto-form, the proto-form of Vishnu. Then the Malayali tribe, one of the numerically populated tribes in Tamil Nadu, almost half of the tribal population belong to this tribe. They have different forms of Rama. In one area of the Malayali hills, they are called as Kariya Rama, that is Black Rama. In Dravidian area, we have the black name, Black Rama. It's a prominent, which denotes beauty. Black means beauty. The term Ilaya Raman also, we have another term, Ilaya Raman means young Rama, literally refers to Lord Vishnu, a youthful Rama. Whereas in ancient Tamil Sangam classics, this term is used with the meaning warrior. Young means warrior, Tamil Marava. Similarly, the term Kariya, though literally means the black color Lord Vishnu, again in Sangam classics, it means beauty, the handsome look of Lord Vishnu. Some Vishnu temples in this region are regarded as Sinna Tirupati, that is small Tirupati. The replica of Tirupati is situated in Andhra Pradesh. As Vishnu is a pan-Indian deity and it belongs to great tradition, the Malayalis offer vegetarian offerings to Lord Vishnu. For other indigenous deities, we offer Muppusai, that is offering 3 kinds of sacrifices, pig, goat and cow. During the annual festivals, Bharadam and the Dharma constitution, Karna Mashram, etc. are also performed as photos in these things. Now comes to tribal Sainism among the primitive tribal groups. The Toda creation states that Vertical Swami, the avatar of Shiva, created the universe. Ambalakote near Wayanad border is the place where Shiva is worshipped by the Todas. So Todas go once in a year to this Ambalakote and worship. This is the place where Lord Shiva originated for the first time on the earth. Each Toda goes to this place at least once in a year. The Malay Vedan, another important tribe in Tamil Nadu, that is hill hunter. Malay means hill, Vedan means hunter. This hill hunter, tribal people, inhabiting in southern Tamil Nadu, trace their descent to Kannappa Nayanar, one of the Saiva saints, one of the 64 acharyas who propagated the Saivas in the Tamil region, who offered his signs as a hope to Shiva. The genealogical tribe is exemplified in the worship of Lord Shiva and his progeny is Lord Vinayaka, that is Ganesh, and his younger brother Lord Murugan, that is Kartikeya. During the 13th century, the Nayak kings of Vijayanagar Empire extended their rule in Madurai in Tamil Nadu and accommodated the Malay Vedan as territorial gods. Having started enjoying the royal patronage from the Nayak king, the Malay Vedan gradually associated themselves with the worship of Nayak's Lord Mother Vishnu, the supreme deity of Vaishnavism. Since then, they strongly believe that Lord Perumal, that is Vishnu, undertakes a night tour on God's hamlets and gardens on the hills. The Ganesh worship is also prominent among the tribal communities in Tamil Nadu. Whenever they come across their Roman or whenever they start a new deed, they begin with Ganesh worship. Hinduization process slowly gained momentum with the royal patronage and its related sources. Even after the Nayak's rule was uprooted by the Delhi Sultans, the belief system continues to exist till today. The Budhun tribe of Western gods exhibit a strong web of pan-Indian characteristics through their pantheonic structure and worship pattern. They have an elaborate pantheon of about 24 deities, of which 10 gods are related to great divinity. They are as follows: Murugan, Shakar, that is Shiva, Meenakshi Amman, Rama, Krishna, Kamakshi Amman, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Vinayaka, that is Ganesh, Garuda Bhagavan, that is Vacha, the vehicle of the Lord Vishnu. Now let us move on to the tribal ethics, through which also the primitive tribal groups identify their pan-Indian characteristics through their tribal ethics. These Rodas are said to believe in their descent from Pancha Pandavas, 5 Pandavas. Their earlier practice of fraternal polyandry, that is marrying a woman by all the girls, was one such evidence for their link with Pandavas' great line. The Roda people recalling some items of ethnohistory related to Mahabharata mythology. The Rodas have unique narrow water theories and ecological sequential structure. Nowadays, the front and rear walls are made of stones rather than the traditional wood. In front of the wall are of buffaloes, sun, moon, and even the 5 Pandava brothers of Mahabharata. In each area, they have the wood carvings or stone carvings depicting the 5 Pandavas. The Todas say that Pandavas came here to Muttunade, one of the nodules of the settlement, in Nilgiris during their course of journey before the Great War. They also claim that the Yema begot his son here in Muttunade. The Todas have many kinds of links with Mahabharata. One significant link is as follows. During rainy season, whenever they hear heavy thunderbolts, they say Arjuna, Arjuna. In their own language, Arjuna, Arjuna, because R is silent in Toda. So whenever they hear thunderbolts, they say Arjuna, Arjuna, one of the main characters in the Mahabharata. In another legend, the Toda claims that the deity destroyed the demons, Korte, and saved the people from the unruly demons. For long been, the Toda attempts to identify with the Hindu mainstreams. The Toda text of Yamanu, that is 174 about the faithful and the faithless wife, is identified with the theme of Ramayana. Professor Yamanu's data on Toda, Kota, and Nirula tales, that is story 23, pages 187 and many other tale motifs reflect the strong connection with great ethics of India. The Toda bots are singing songs on their origin. The basic structure of pan-Indian epic pattern studied by scholars indicates a tripartite classification, that is martial element, sacrificial element, and romantic element. We can identify these three elements in their mythic structure. Tamil ethics advocates that one standard pattern of heroic alliance in Indian epics in a triangle formed by two brothers and one wife. One British anthropologist, Brandavik, has also identified such pattern in folk epics. Kotas prefer to have personal names from Mahabharata characters. Richard Cable, one of the leading scholars of ethnomusicology, who has studied the gold music also, and he has studied the Kota music also. Ram and Caesar took two wild cats. The Kota origin says have linked with Ramayana. Rama and Caesar took two wild cats, one male and one female, and allowed to change into a man and woman. And that is how the first Irulaka came into being. Then the gods taught them how to live on earth. There is another version of Rama and Sita created Irulas out of the earth and Atlas. Thus, Kotas, Irulas, and Marathas have some kind of relationship with the Ramayana. In this chapter, I have detailed, I have addressed these issues in detail. So, among the primitive tribal groups in the New East or Western West of Tamil Nadu, we have a strong link between great tradition and the outer tradition. Tradition continue between great and native tradition, or from local indigenous communities from the great tradition. So we have also a big continuity in the form of Mahabharata, Ramayana. So among the primitive tribal groups in the New East or in Vayagad in Tamil Nadu, we could see the pan-Indian features among their epics and the worship patterns.
Thank you, Dr. Vanetti. I think this dialectical kind of relationship between what we may think of as little tradition and the mainstream whatever traditions, I don't know if this can also be reversed. Which is the main one? Which is the great tradition? Is it the local one? Or what is the dynamism? I think these are the questions to be pondering about, isn't it? And this is what he's trying to depict through the epics that are there in these languages and how they operate and how varied are the ways in which they are shaping themselves or have been shaping themselves over centuries. But yes, I am very personally interested in this relationship between the little and the bigger traditions. I would say perhaps these are the sources from which the so-called bigger ones come out. And these are questions to ponder about. We move on to the next paper. Thank you for sticking to the time. We go on to the next paper by Dr. C. Maheshwaran. And he is the former director, Tribal Research Center, Government of Tamil Nadu, and former director also of Department of Museums of Government of Tamil Nadu. He is going to be speaking on the ritual structure and its language structure of the Alu Kurambas of the Negroes.
Thank you, Chairperson. My paper is concerned with the kind of ritual structure, the associated language structure, the Alu Kurambas of tribal language.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yes. As you all know, anthropology deals with the holistic study of humankind works. While linguistics is concerned with the scientific study of languages, both written and unwritten languages. The anthropology study could be summarized as a study of man-to-man adjustments, man-to-nature adjustment, and man-to-supernatural adjustment, which results into social organization that deals with social structure, economic organization that deals with the economic activities, and religious organization that deals with ritual structure. On the other hand, the linguistic study could be summarized as the study of language structure, which gets reflected in all the domains of culture such as society, economy, religion. In this paper, I would like to highlight the ritual structure and its associated language structure of all Kurbas or tribal activities. Let me first introduce the all Kurbas. The all Kurbas constitute a distinct ethnos within the so-called Kurumba complex. David G. Mandelbaum, the celebrated anthropologist of America, he put forth the hypothesis that all the Kurumbas belong to one complex called Kurumba complex. I question it and proved in my Canada paper that is so-called Kurumba complex. So all Kurumbas constitute a distinct ethnos within the so-called Kurumba complex, both to the possession of very differentiated features or culture-specific traits, such as social structure of autonomous moieties, namely Nagara with the 20 clans and Beligi with the 11 clans. Religious structure of exercising magical powers of causing benevolent and malevolent effects on others. Preservation of endemic flora and fauna as well can maintain Devashwale, the characteristic natural growth of the Devashwale. Belief in the existence of double soul. They believe that each individual is having two souls, namely Yoga Uju, literally it can be considered each soul, with the visible shadow, Gauravan Alu, general given Alu, Gauravan Alu, and Punu Uju, that is small soul, with invisible shadow, that is Gauravan Alu, resting over water-worn stone, Deva Kottakallu, located inside the nearby water body, which gets identified as the spirit stone through divination oracle of the priest Pujari, later on stored within the megalithic government, known in the language Nalu Padi. Padi means abode, Nalu is dead. Shadow means abode of shadow, the departed soul. Situated nearby, which is identified as government. Once the Nalu Padi, megalithic government is occupied with the number of stones piled together, then it is referred as government. The entire ritual structure of the Alakurba rests on two sacred ceremonies. I would like to refer as twin sacred ceremony. One is the government Haba, and the other one is the ultimate Kumbhaleva Haba. Let me explain it. The Alakurba believe that once the person gets deceased, his departed soul, the big soul, leaves the body immediately and is awaiting for the arrival of the second soul, the small soul. The small soul awaits so long it is all the rituals are concluded. After partaking the last meal served by the household, it moves out from the body and reaches the awaiting the other soul, big soul, and they get integrated into one and approaches nearby water-worn stone and available at nearby water body. And through oracle divination of the priest, the particular stone is identified and is brought to the megalithic government, which is considered the board of the such stones, sacred stones. And this constitutes the one part of the ritual structure. And then it continues wherein the native people observe the other one. On each and every hamlet of Alakurba, 5 youngsters, 5 adult male, they talk with each other saying that let us go for self-experiment, and they approach the priest, Pujari and his assistant, Jati. So all the 7 will undergo self-experiment in the interior of the forest for 7 days, taking only the raw food, namely honey, white fever, fruits, jams, etc. On the 7th day, they will collect these raw materials and offer to an abode is located in the opposite peak from the Akademi, and they identify previous state of cable structure where they have kept the 7 pots. They call it Kumbha Devaru. So they worship all the offerings to the Kumbha Devaru, and this is called Kumbha Devaru number block. And with this, they return to their original hamlet. Then only the inmates of the hamlet will be knowing that they had subject themselves to self-experiment for the welfare of the entire hamlet throughout the year. And practice of characteristic graphic art tradition that is believed to be having connection to the rock art depictions identified nearby rock shelter. The priest is having anthropomorphic image masked in the front wall of his house, and annually they will he will retouch and redraw at the gate, and believing that the impact spirit will flow to the cliff where the priests or architects are there. There, the main key figure, identified as the anthropomorphic figure, is in turn revitalized, and that brings down prosperity and security for the entire hamlet throughout the year. That is the belief. These are the just distinguished them from the other so-called subsets of Purimas. Hence, from the above mentioned discussions, I wish to reiterate that so long the ritual structure of all Purumas remains intact and vibrant, its associated language structure will be sustained as well. As the sustenance of later depends solely on the existence of the form. And in this of the paper, I like to go for the PowerPoint presentation so that you could know the details of the sacred ceremony. So it is these ceremonies are supposed to be sacred. We are able to get the details through the graphic art tradition. So it was probably the person has taken that data. Before the PowerPoint, let me list of the PowerPoint. The secret ceremonies cannot be studied directly by anthropologists or ethnographers. So fortunately, when we are trekking to the one of the Alapurupa settlement called Vellekombe, please go to the images. No images.
Graphic art.
Is there any other folder?
Graphic art Kumba.
Yes.
Switch off the lights.
Yes.
This is about the location of the hamlet. This is Nilgiri. This is the Vellekombe prehistoric rock art. Then you can see the one central figure here, the key image standing, and you can see the underlying right decapitated here, or in right of it. You can see the closer view of the book. These are the key images identified from the prehistoric archive. These are the key figures identified. The native people call them as Akademi, and the host of the deities. The word for deity is Deva. That's why they call the sacred grove Nevasola. This is the earliest painting And this is the first graphic artist identified as from Krishna. He is collecting raw material from herbals, he is getting green, and he is getting some minerals also for making red and other things. And they are also getting the extrusion from the one tree called mango bar, which is extrusion of the bar. And from that they make various hues of the painting. And it is preparing the outline and border. Showcasing this the then character the Shukla Sahu for English. She made a special exhibition of the graphic arts and made by Krishna. He is honored along with the other Koda artists, Kodas and Portals. So the interesting thing about the graphic art is that it not only shows the various facets of culture of all Kurumbas, but also the secret ceremony exhibited by themselves. Because in our field we try to capture the secret ceremony times, and they used to play hide and seek. They will say that it will be conducted next month, sir, please come. And when we visit, they will say that last week itself it was over, sir. Like that they will be making all hide and seek ceremony. Hali collection. Yes. Next one. This is another one. Mr. Krishna, actually we identified this caliber in making the graphic art, and through him we trained. Now we are having 35 graphic artists among all of us, both men and women. These are some of the things. This is an interesting thing. You can see the day-to-day affairs. That laying the grains is the center on the rock of the rock center, and doing other activities like felling trees and other things. This is interesting. These are the megalithic garments. They identify this as the Nalu Padi. Nalu means Neda, that is shadow, that is the important soul. Padi is the abode. So they identify the prehistoric garments as the abode of the ancestral spirits. And they decorate this type of megalithic garments. Once the Nalu Padi is decorated with this decorated and is under the subject of the Kumbhadev, Govamani Abba, it is termed as Govamani. Gova means keeping piles of stones. Kuhiyam in terms of kuhi, that is keeping. So the Govamani refers to the structure where piles of stones are there. The Nalu Padi remains as Nalu Padi, only when the stones are piled there, then it becomes referred as Govamani. So this is a closer view. Next one is closer view of this thing. We are having different types of decoration of the megalithic circle, can circle, diamond like that. This is a can circle. Next one. This is a diamond, and also made as the Nalu Padi and Govamani. Next one. The closer view of the Nalu Padi, Govamani. This is another one, can circle. They make different type of decorative structures like the pandal, the shed. Next one, sir. The closer view of can circle decorated. You can see the circular form. There is a can circle, the original prehistoric can circle that is made as the Nalu Padi and Govamani later. Next one. Closer view. This is another one. Next one, sir. Next one. This is also another one. That's interesting. The previous. Next one. This is concerned with the next one. You can see the previous there is
spot where 7 other pots are stored already. These are the ritual paraphernalia. They conceive these 7 pots as the Kumbhadevaru. That's why the Habba, the festival associated with Kumbhadevaru, is called Kumbhadeva Habba. They make the dance also honoring the Kumbhadeva Habba. Okay, thank you. So my point is that even secret ceremonies can be studied by the anthropologists by indirect method of getting details through this type of grand representation. Interestingly, the all group of Nilgiris alone are having the grand tradition, whereas the Kerala counterpart are not having the practice of having the grand tradition. Even each and every element of the Alagurba, they used to make the same type of depictions on the walls as a decorative motifs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess we will, at the discussion time, we will probably talk about the relationship between ritual structure and the language structure. And that should be, I think, a focal discussion point that we might take up after the third paper is over. So we move on to the third one, the third paper, which is on oral traditions of the tribes in the context of modernity, and this is by Professor Anand Mahanan. He is from EFL University, Hyderabad. I think we'll be presenting it from there,
Yes.
the other end. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. This paper is about the folk cultural practices in Sambalpuri language. Sambalpur is known for 3 things. One is Sambalpuri sari, another is Sambalpuri language, and third one is Sambalpuri dance. The title of my paper is Unique Oral Traditions of the Tribes and Modernity. Here I would like to describe a few oral traditions and explore what kinds of changes they face in the process of modernity. The oral traditions include dance, songs, folk tales in tribal and unwritten languages such as Desya, Sambalpuri, Koshli in southern and western part of Odisha. How these forms transform themselves when there is a shift from ritual sites to the stage and technology. I will be studying how a ritual is transformed from the ritual site to stage site. What kind of changes take place? In this study, I will be using Richard Schechner's performance theory. I will be taking some ideas and insights from him. So, hope it will not be a problem for some of us, because some people don't like to use Western theories as such, but this is used for my convenience only. So, one of the features of modernity is the spread of technology, and with the spread of technology we can notice rising trends in commodifying tribal cultural forms by industrial houses and groups and making them in the forms of videos, albums and other electronic devices, making the life world into plastic arts. A lot of albums have been created by business houses, and they are commercially circulated. So what kind of changes take place when we carry on these activities? Even tourism departments are advertising tribal dance and so on. One is not arguing against such activities, but our purpose is to study how these new forms transform indigenous genre and how they are received. So to study this, I will be looking at the Karma dance of the Vinjal tribe of Western Odisha, a form of dance that is associated with ritual, Karma ritual. It is performed in Karamsani celebration on Bhadra Ekadasi, the 11th day of full moon of Bhadra, or August, and that falls in August and September. It is celebrated in reverence to Goddess Karamsani, the deity.